Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Susa's mama. Thank you for joining me today. Ah, I bet you guys are enjoying your summer, even though every movement is kind of restricted in a way. You're still able to get out there, and a lot of places are open now. So, oh well, just enjoy your summer as best as you can. And for me, I have been working so hard. I just kind of started this new venture. I'm learning a new business, so that's kind of why my video has been slow in coming out, because I just work late into the night learning these things and just being coached and all of that. So it's been fun. It's been fun. So I'll share more of that later. So today, I just want to have a conversation with us today. I want to talk about a video that was sent to me by my very good friend and sister, and this video right now it's gone viral. I guess it's on Twitter and all of that, but I want to talk about it because it's something that is so dear to my heart. I am not going to share the video because I don't have any right to share the video. I'm not going to share the video, but I'm just going to talk about it. I'm sure a lot of you out there already have seen it or somehow, but I got to know about the video when my friend sent it to me. And when she sent it to me, and the first thing that I watched the whole thing, and the first thing that came to my mind, I was like, boy, this is an angry child. This child is angry because there was this outburst of anger, a lot of things just going on, and whoever was there making videos, they couldn't even calm him down. He was throwing things, scattering the mother's house and all of that. And the mother had her own report she was giving to the family that she called to come and help. But the thing is, yes, just coming from the counselor point of view, all I could see there was just a kid that was angry, that had so many things bottled up and just exploded, and it was out of control. And I kept going in my head, hope they called for help for this boy. My friend kind of sent a video that kind of linked to Twitter, and I went there and saw the whole picture. It's always nice to kind of get stories from both sides. A lot of people are making comments like, oh, Nigerian child and African child or whatnot. Those things somehow they kind of annoy me sometimes. Like, anyways, everybody had their different comment, but a few people made sense there. They're talking about how African parents cannot come to the Western world and do things that they would do back home and all whatnot. But that's not for me to say. But why I want to talk about this is I want to just, from a mental health perspective, I'm going to share two things. Then I'm going to just finish up the conversation in other areas and bringing in the Bible and how, as believers and all of that, we can help our kids and even help ourselves. The working memory was oppositional defiant disorder, ODD. It says it's a type of behavior disorder where children are uncooperative, defiant, and hostile toward peers and authority figures such as their parents or police or anybody that's kind of above them. And then the other one is intermittent explosive disorder. Is a behavior disorder characterized by brief episodes of disproportionate anger and aggression. So this kind of, if you look at these two disorders, you're going to think, okay, this boy displayed both of them. But and again, these two disorders, and in addition with other disorder relating to outbursts of anger that I did not mention, there are two major causes, things that cause this kind of behavior. It could be genetic in the sense that the child's natural disposition or temperament, and it could be neurological, kind of differences in the way the brain is wired. That could be a cause of a child acting out. The another one is environmental. This is a big one. This is what I want to focus on. Environmental is problems with parenting that may involve a lack of supervision, inconsistent or harsh discipline, or abuse or neglect. I want to focus on this environmental aspect of it because in as much as there are cases of mental health, it's a thing that we Africans, when I say we Africans, that if you are from Nigeria, whatever part of Africa you're from, we still tend to not understand what mental health is, or even in the church, we still tend to shy away from that. We don't understand what it is for somebody to be mentally ill or to have struggle or whatever it is. So like I said, I want to focus on the environmental aspect, in the sense that as parents, whether single or married, we can tell our kids what we want them to do, but if we don't show them by our actions, they are, we're wasting our time. We're just talking, because the children learn from what they see. So if you are being aggressive towards your child, if you are being abusive, in the sense that it could be verbal or physical, like the beating and all, don't even get me started, on how, if I know for me, the all of it, verbal, physical, emotional, all of the abuse, I lived it. So that was kind of in my day. But the thing is, if we as parents, if we cannot show our kids how to behave by the way we act, what else do we expect from them? That what it, the video that is going around is kind of what we're going to see. And from what the guy, when the guy shared his own side of the story, it made sense, even though when I first saw the video, just where the mother was talking, and I was just like, oh boy, this child is kind of defiant, is this is an outburst of anger, is a mental case, they should get help for him. That's kind of what I was just telling my friend, like, where is this from? They should get help for this guy. And then when she sent me the other part of the story, and I went to Twitter and read it, and read about this, more about the story, and heard from the boy's point of view, it's a case of environmental, in the sense that he was just displaying what he's saying the mother has been doing to him, and what the mother has, what he's learned from the mother, pretty much. Even though he did not use those words, but that was kind of what he was saying on in his response to people that would kind of attack him and all of that. So I just said, also to say this. The Bible says in Proverbs 22 verse 6, it says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Parents, we are in the Western world. We work so hard. We do all of these things just to make our kids happy. I get that. But let us not miss that part of training them in the right way. And again, like I said before, training them in the right way requires us modeling the right behavior, the right attitude to them. One thing I learned a long time ago, I'm not going to want to raise my child or treat my child the way I was treated. It wasn't like I was treated. Yes, there were bad moments, there were good moments as well, but I am intentional with the way I'm raising my children. I kind of like, okay, let me pick what are the good things that I was raised by back home. I pick those good things, and I don't want to, because I know I live in an environment where it's different. It's not the way it was back home, or the way we run things back home. It's different. So for me not to lose my children, I have to kind of meet them halfway. I have to find a way to instill in them what I want them to have. So as a Christian, you train up your child the way you want them to go. They are watching your actions. They are watching everything you're doing, everything you're saying. So it is your action that is really teaching them. It's not what you are saying. Then another thing again, it says in Ephesians 6, 1 through 4, it says, children, obey your parents because you belong to the Lord, for this is the right thing to do. That's kind of right. That's for the children. Yes, children, you're supposed to obey your parents, listen to your parents. But at the same time, that in that same passage, if you go down to verse 4, it says that fathers do not provoke your children to anger by the way you treat them. Rather, bring them up with the discipline and instruction that comes from the Lord. Let's pause right there. Again, since my case study is that little boy, from his story, he was provoked by his mother. I don't know what the mother would say if I had a different story from her. He was provoked by his mother. And either way, single or married, I remember for me, when I was a single mother, a wise lady told me, because I knew I was afraid, like how I was going to raise my child, how she was going to turn out and everything. I could barely able to raise myself, But this wise lady told me that, whether I'm so thankful for who is my daughter's godmother. She told me, she said, the first 5 years of a child's life, if you can get that discipline into that child, you have done a great job. So I focused on the first 5 years of my daughter's life, and I allowed people help me as well. I did not make it look like, oh, it's kind of a job for only me. I allowed people help me as well, people that God brought into my life to help me. And the first 5 years of her life, when we went through that, I knew we're gonna be okay. So that's kind of, as parents, especially for single parents, I know it's hard, I know you're going at it alone, you're doing it all by yourself. The stress alone can get you all frustrated and you snap at your kids. I used to be that parent, but like I said, I had to retrace my step. Like I had to tell myself, what do I want? How do I want my child to grow up? So it's frustrating when you're going at things alone, you're doing all that alone. All of those things, yes, all of those factors, they are a part of all of that. And these kids are watching that. So just asking for help and you know, just yeah, asking for help and being I know some it might sound like, oh, I don't know my child's friend. Sometimes yeah, just being your child's friend, not in the friend in the sense that being the friend as they are friends, but there's another kind of friendship as a parent you have with your child. That way you don't lose that child. And then I'm sure a lot of people might be out there like, okay, what if as a parent you've done everything and yet the child still turns out a certain way? I wish I have an answer for that. I don't. But one thing I do know is as parents in the diaspora, we cannot say, oh, we're gonna do things to our children that parents did to us back home or how we were raised back home. There are some good things that we can sit back and pick out of that, but at the same time we have to remember that these kids are in a different environment, they're in a different society where things are done differently. And the earlier we realize that, as hard as it may sound, or I don't know how to put that word, the earlier we realize that, the better for us, so that we don't lose our children and so that we can get to understand them even more and help them grow in God's way. If you're a Christian, the Bible already says you train up your child the way you want them to go. You help them grow in God's way. If you instill those things in your child as they get older, trust me, no matter where they go, no matter what happens in their life, they will always come back to that foundation that you have for them. So yeah, I just wanted to lend my voice in all of that. I hope I've not just gone ranting on. It's something that is so dear to my heart that it breaks my heart when I see things like that. I can never imagine what the mother will be feeling, or even the child. That boy was angry, and as from what he said, as it is right now, he doesn't even want to see his parents anymore. I mean, his mother anymore, his siblings anymore. He left the house, as in the social services took him out of the house. He rather go live in the foster care and all that. That's very heartbreaking. So for it not to get to that point, parents, let us check ourselves. Let us check how we are raising our children. This is for both single and married parents. It doesn't matter what category you fit in, but let us do right by our children. Let us be the model that they want to follow. Let us practice what we preach, because these kids are watching. They are very intelligent. Let us not be so into pursuing material things. These kids need that time. That is another thing I learned. Like, my daughter sat me down and told me she don't care whatever things I buy for her in the world, but my time is more important to her. So I had to be intentional making that time, and that's how I live my life every day. I'm intentional making the time to be there for her. From a parent, it breaks my heart. So I just hope that whoever that lady is, whoever the boy is, I hope they are able to work things out and just mend things. So and I hope this video kind of teaches us African parents, let's meet our children where they are. And just pray that God gives us wisdom to know how to discipline our children the right way and not push them away, but instead let the discipline draw them closer to us. Because in this world that we're in, we need to have that, and they need us. Alright, so that's just my 2 cents. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your likes and your comments always. Thank you for your support.